Isaac Childres' newest game Frosthaven, the standalone sequel to the hit co-op game Gloomhaven, made board game history recently by making just under $13 million on crowdfunding platform Kickstarter. This did not come as a huge surprise after reaching almost $5 million in its first 24 hours of going live, but a huge step up from the $386,000 Gloomhaven made way back in 2015. Since Gloomhaven's release in 2017, it has been widely considered one of the best board games of all time, sitting comfortably on the Board Game Geek #1 spot for quite some time. And having played it myself, I can attest that it is in fact worthy of this title. So seeing as Gloomhaven got off to such a great start, and with hours and hours of gameplay in that original version, what makes Frosthaven so different? And most importantly, what makes Frosthaven so cool? Number 1 is its sheer size. The sequel to the successful Gloomhaven is just as large as the original, with plenty of gameplay to get through and lots of exciting world to explore. If you're already familiar with Gloomhaven, Frosthaven will have some little nods towards the original, but not so much so that it will be off-putting to newer players. If you're not familiar with Gloomhaven, it is a co-op card-driven combat legacy game that is heavily inspired by RPG video games such as World of Warcraft. To put this in simpler terms, it is essentially a game where the players will work together to play against the game, using a unique deck of cards to move, attack monsters in rooms, and pick up loot. Cards are split into top and bottom actions, top usually being combat and bottom movement. The cards also give you an initiative number to determine which order your group and the monsters will perform their actions in. Every time you defeat a dungeon, you receive rewards such as gold, items, and experience points. As you level up, you'll also be able to upgrade your player character, making him stronger as you go. Eventually, you will be able to retire that character, which essentially just means putting him to sleep in the box and taking one of the other characters available to you. The game starts with 6 characters, with 10 more unrevealed in the box. As the game goes along, you will be able to reveal certain character classes, and when you eventually decide to retire one of your characters, you will be able to choose from one of the unlocked characters. As Frosthaven is a standalone game, it is therefore made to be enjoyed for new players of the franchise as well as it is for existing hardy fans. Not only will you have a whole new huge campaign to play through in Frosthaven, but it also comes with a lot of in-betweeny extras. Frosthaven is putting a lot more emphasis on its inter-scenario world building, and what you put into the town is ultimately what you'll get out of it. As you go about your dungeon crawls fighting horrific monsters, you don't just pick up loot when they perish, but also resources such as metals, wood, herbs, and more. You can bring these into town then and craft armor, weapons, potions. You can experiment with resources by adding different combinations together and seeing what outcome you get. Once you've actually successfully made something that's of use, you'll then have access to that recipe for the rest of the game. Players can also pool these resources to create structures within the town of Frosthaven, which will give you permanent benefits. By creating these structures, you'll gain basic benefits. By upgrading these structures, your benefits will increase, and these will in turn help you in the dungeon crawling part of the game. This is one of the ways in which the gameplay will differ from player to player, as their towns take on different shapes and dish out different benefits. As well as this, Frosthaven introduces a puzzle-solving element to the game. According to Isaac Childres himself, you come across a puzzle book about a third of the way through the game. In it are strange clues written in another language. Throughout the rest of the campaign, you'll need to keep an eye out on those clues to help you solve the puzzles within the book. A specific scenario might help you solve a specific page in the book, and anything could be a clue, even something in the artwork itself. The whole thing is supposed to feel like an escape room. This edition means you'll be able to stretch those cerebral muscles alongside your monster fighting antics, adding some brains to your bronze. Frosthaven comes with a whole new set of character classes to choose from, 16 in total in fact. As in Gloomhaven, you will start with 6 character classes and will have an opportunity to unlock more as you play. However, the way you unlock new character classes has somewhat changed. When retiring a character, instead of simply putting them back in the box and grabbing yourself a new character, the retiring of a character actually unlocks a new building, which is really sweet when you think about it, because it's essentially saying this character has hung up their murdering ways and is settling down in Frosthaven, opening themselves a little shop, selling some wares. Maybe it's weaponry, maybe it's armor, maybe it's t-shirts that say, "I heart Frosthaven," or "My son went to Frosthaven and all I got was this lousy t-shirt," or "Why feel all Gloomhaven when you could be Frosthaven a good time?" Who knows? You'll have to play the game to find out what fun little structures await. I really do hope they have a t-shirt shop though. Well, it's in the name, isn't it? Frosthaven? What's cooler than frost? As the name might suggest, the game is set in more of a winterscape, or at least part of it is. The game is split into 2 seasons, summer and winter. The milder summer months being the time that you need to prepare yourself for the harsher, meaner winter months. Resources, which are also a new addition to the game, will be more readily available in the summer months and a lot scarcer in those winter months, so you really need to make sure to get your hands on them when the time is right. According to Isaac, there will be 15 time progressions to move from summer to winter, at which points things will get harsher and the town will start getting attacked. Part of this difference in intensity levels means that Frosthaven comes with 2 different event decks, with the winter having the harsher effects. So Frosthaven really builds on the core mechanics of its predecessor, taking even more from the video games the original was inspired by and adding fun little extras that really pack a punch. For existing Haven fans, they will be able to build on a system they already recognise and appreciate their little nods. Newcomers to the game will be presented with a chock-a-block game that doesn't up its complexity levels by too much, meaning you won't feel like you need to play the original, but honestly, you'll probably want to. Have you backed the game on Kickstarter? And if so, what are you most excited about in the new game? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and hit that bell button to be notified of future videos. That's all from me for now. Look after yourselves and have a lovely day.